Hello everyone, this is Matt from MMODen.com, welcoming you to another edition of Inside the Den, where we take a 15-minute inside peek at a game's features and overall gameplay. Today, Inside the Den, we're going to take a look at Wizard 101 from KingsIsle, a 3D fantasy MMORPG. If you want to learn more about Wizard 101 or read our full review, you can head over to MMODen.com or you can click the link below. Alright, let's get started. So I've created my account and we're going to go ahead and create our first character. So let's start with new.
The spell is working.
Alright, the spell's working. This game is very much based and aimed at a younger audience. Let's continue.
Oh, really? Where? Oh, very, very.
I'm going to click through this and get ourselves started so we can get a...
Answer these questions to find out what type of wizard you are.
So the game gives you an option with a test, or you can skip the test, to pick exactly what type of wizard you want to be. So I'm going to go through the test so you guys can see what it looks like. So I like to play with my friends. Most powerful, blizzards. My favorite activity, competitive sports. Favorite season, summer. Most important thing in a story, the hero, the heroine. Favorite animal, let's go with a shark. Favorite gemstone, sapphire. So it sets me up as it tells me that I'm an ice wizard. Now I can either try again and go through that whole sequence and look at potentially becoming a different type of wizard, or I can just hit OK. I'm going to hit OK so we can move on.
My vision is failing me. Are you a boy or a girl?
So this wizard is expected to save the world, but he can't tell if I'm a boy or a girl. So let's choose boy, so I don't confuse any of you by choosing girl with the voice that I'm talking with. So let's move forward.
But now that we know what you are, what do you look like?
Now the game doesn't have a lot of customization here. A few hair options, a few face options, skin color, stuff like that. Let's do random a few times and see what we come up with. Oh, that works.
Good, good. Now, what do you wear?
Now, let's see, what do we wear? We've got hat options, we've got robe options. Now, the actual hat and robes don't change, but the colors do. Same with the shoes. So once again, we'll do random a few times, see what we come up with. That works for me.
All right, then. What is your name?
Now, one way that these types of games combat or censor, so to say, individuals choosing names that are going to be vulgar or that they'd have to censor out anyways is by creating a system where you pick a first name and then you pick, it's kind of like the old mix and match where you'd have different pieces of paper, stuff like that. I may be aging myself, but some of you may remember that, some of you won't. But this game does it. Free Realms also does it, another game that's very much aimed at a younger audience. So let's hit random a few times, see what we come up with. Why not? Christo Trollstalker we will be known as. Done. Let's get started. Alright. So there's Christo Trollstalker, and let's get the game going.
Well, hello. If it isn't our newest student.
Now we can go and run through the tutorial, or we can skip the tutorial. I'm actually going to do the tutorial so you guys can get an idea of the basics of gameplay, how things work, stuff like that.
My name is Merle
Yep,
Ambrose.
Merle Ambrose. Gotcha.
We're expecting
Great
to move
things.
around. Use the arrow keys. My owl friend would like to speak with you.
Now they want you to use the
Walk
arrow
up
keys, but you
together
can also
and
use W, A,
follow
S, and
his
D.
instructions to talk.
So we're going to, as usual, get a question mark. So
Hello.
we double click
My
on
name is
them,
Gamma the Owl.
and
I'm quite the
let's get through
wizard.
here. Uh-oh. Looks like there's an earthquake coming. Oh. Sorry, a storm, not an earthquake. I don't know too many storms that shake the ground, but I guess they could be that powerful.
How odd.
You to the tower.
So they want me to go in the tower and do their dirty work for them.
Who's there? You are no longer...
I'm here to resolve our
That's the
unfinished
major
business.
evil bad guy of the
If
game.
you're late,
How do you look?
don't be
Run up and confront them.
So you
Be
gotta take out
brave.
these two
I will guide
draconians. Alright. So, as you can see, the game is turn-based, and you can have a
draw
maximum of
these
4
spells from
enemies
your
and a
deck
maximum of 4
quickly.
people in your
You
party.
must choose a spell and use it to attack one of Malistair's henchmen by clicking on him.
It does have a card deck that you'll use and draw cards from. We're going to go ahead and we'll use the troll on this guy. You see the animations, graphics, overall graphic layout, stuff like that. It's all very kid-centric. But that doesn't mean that the game isn't enjoyable and have things that adults or older, more mature players will like. There's some really cool cards. There are animations. Some of them have some hilarious pieces to them. Some of them are just exactly what they are.
You're hurt. You'll
They're
need
meant
to pay attention to your current health.
Just solve a problem. Yeah,
This red crystal ball
dead, not hurt.
shows your health. The blue crystal ball shows how much mana you have left.
Got it.
Well, mana is
Alright,
when you're
mana's
out of
magic,
mana.
got it.
Why so distracted?
So there we go. Those will reside down there in the bottom.
Right. Attack his hench.
Let's hit the same guy. Try and take him out. There are, even though you're only seeing attack spells right now, there's a lot of spells in the deck that either can remove. Let's see exactly what this one's going to do. So, pirate off of an island. Pirate skeleton, that is. So there's my fire lion or tiger. See if it even takes him out. Nope. But there's a lot of spells that are also support on support level, act as buffs or debuffs. There's also spells that sometimes will take you will need you to wait a turn to be able to cast them. So there's a lot of depth as far as the spell casting is concerned.
Spell.
And as you see there, there's healing spells. So I'm gonna be able to heal myself right now if I survive this. Luckily that shark didn't do too much damage. So now I'll heal myself. Oh, a little pretty unicorn. Alright, so now let's see if,
Foolish creatures! You've let the young whelp heal!
yeah.
Here, young wizard.
So here's what I was talking
Take some
about,
more
the pips.
They power your spell. The more pips you have, the stronger the spells you can cast.
So usually you have to wait a turn to gather those up and be able to cast those more powerful spells, but instead, because this is the tutorial, they're giving them to me for free.
Quickly now, pick another spell and
So
cast it at
He's
one
got
of
250. You can see the monster's health here. So we're going to go ahead and cast it on him, take him out, because he has a couple pips, so don't want him casting powerful spells on me.
them. Oh my!
There's a debuff I
That
was
spell
talking about.
reduced the power of your own spell.
You're going to throw a big old rock at them. And still didn't take him out. So combat at times can be slow, especially if you've got a party of 2, 3, or 4 people. And, you know, obviously there's storyline and stuff going along with this tutorial. But with multiple people in this area, you can, and then multiple monsters, you can see where it can get really, it can slow down a little bit.
Cast this balance blade spell on yourself. It will increase.
There you go. I'll increase. Buff me up. Give me 25% resistance. You can see the animations of the spells are really cool. They're really well done. I don't know what the budget was for the game, but I know that it does fairly well. It's been out for a couple years now and has continued to do well. One drawback and one place that a lot of people complain is the game isn't truly free to play. You can play the
This
game.
one learns fast, Alistair. 2 can play at that game.
You can play the game free, really,
I've
as
got
long
it.
as you want.
With the balance blade spell you've already cast, the meteor strike spell should finish them off.
So that's a kind of an area of effect or hit multiple target type spell that I just used that meteor spell. But going back to what I was saying, the one knock on the game, you know, it is free to play and you can play it as long as you want. But one of the problems is that really once you reach about level 7 or so, you're kind of limited unless you just want to grind away on lower level monsters to keep increasing your level. You're kind of limited on how far you can go. There's not a lot of open areas unless you start paying for the game or paying to actually open up those areas and be able to go into them and see them, become an actual paying member. So we won that fight.
Oh, excellent work, young
He's
wizard.
very happy with me.
Now, let me...
Another time.
So he's going to take off.
And now I'll take my leave of this wretched place.
He's gone. And, oh, my. You look a bit the worse
Give me all
on
my
the
health
bright
and mana
side.
back.
Congratulations. This experience bar will help you track when the bar
Almost
fills
full,
up.
almost a level
You'll
2.
gain a level. Now, do you have any... What's that? You don't? Well then, let me teach you how to use... This is the menu chat button. Click on it to say something. You have the way. You can also hit enter and type your own messages using... You'll also need a spellbook and a wand. There you go.
There we
No
go. There's
young
our
wizard
wand.
should ever
There's
do
our
without
spell
them.
book. And the spell book is basically like a card deck.
I should say,
Carries
young
all your
wizard,
cards.
that I was quite...
You draw those cards when you enter a
No.
battle.
But now, so if you... I'll summon...
Alright. So let's head out of here. There we go. So one other thing that you can look at is right now we just finished the tutorial. We're in the newbie area and you can see there's already a ton of players. So the game is very well played. There's a great population of players playing. I haven't gotten any further than the free trial, so I couldn't tell you if there's a ton of players
Welcome
also
to
in the
Wizard
area
City, young
or
wizard.
areas that
I've
you have
an
to pay
idea.
for.
Perhaps
The headmaster.
please deliver this letter to Private Stilson at the Unicorn Way Gate. He will let you through. You can use the yellow quest helper arrow at the...
You have just been given a tutorial tip. These are portraits that give you
Right.
timely information when you
So
click
as he's
on them.
talking about right now, these portraits, you
Hello,
can click
young
on them
wizard.
as they pop up.
I am Mr. Lincoln, the registrar.
And they will give
of
you
Wizards.
helpful
I
information
apologize.
as you
you
move
ever
around.
Simply open your spell book and read over the help
So here's our
pages.
spell
they
book.
contain loads of valuable information.
So as you can see, this is just the quest journal. You can go into that and you can see, where you need to go, what you need to do, all those different types of things. This gives you basic rundown of combat, stuff like that. Here's our overall character screen. Gives you all your basics in our backpack. As you gain items, they'll end up into these different areas depending upon what they are, and you'll be able to equip them. Don't have any pets right now, but you can get pets. Let's take a look at the spell deck. So you can see some of the spells that I have and then some of the other spells that I have access to. These are the randoms. These are the ones that are from my school since I am ICE. Here's the quest that we were talking about. So as you can see, tracking this quest, review the dialogue. We can also, the game really wants to make it easy for kids to get around and be able to figure out what they're doing. So it tries not to be too difficult. So it is pretty easy. So it tells you right where to go, how to get there, how far away you are, stuff like that. So here's the map. As you can see, the graphics are kind of cutesy and funny, stick figure-like, with these guys shooting out lightning bolts and charming the unicorn, things like that. But it's fun to look at. There is a crafting system. Obviously, you don't have time to get into that. Then options, obviously your video options, things like that. So let's close it. Let's finish this quest up.
None shall pass. Unicorn
You show Private Stilson a letter with headmaster.
looks legit.
So
I'll
now we
let
can
you
go
pass.
into Unicorn Way
Show this to Private Connolly in Unicorn Way.
and continue our quest. And we see we've got more of these that have popped up. One other thing is really funny. You've got the chat, so you can see if you use any words that are against their terms, they'll automatically read them out. So they want to really keep the chat clean and stuff like that. And it's set up, like I said, based around for kids, all of those things. So, but it's a really fun game, so you guys might want to check it out. But I am running out of time. I hope you guys enjoyed this trip inside the den. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and you'll keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. And if you want to play or learn more about Wizard 101, you can read our full review at mmoden.com or click the link below. Till next time, thanks for watching.